Hello and welcome to this showroom detail video. Did this detail on an Alfa Romeo Giulia last week, and I wanted to annotate this one because it was a particularly big job. Took about 12 hours total, this one. So basically there was a customer that actually wanted to purchase the car pretty much straight away as it came into stock. So we needed to get it up to scratch and get it all cleaned up, ready for assessment. So they wanted to see, the condition it was in and how it actually came up after detail. So this was a bit of a priority one. So yeah, it took about 12 hours total. Right here, this is where I started the process. So just stripping the interior, taking everything out. So as usual, the floor mats, the boot mats, if it had one, I don't remember if it did, the spare tyre, all the plastics and rubbers from the dashboard and the centre console area, all that comes out, and then we start doing a air compressor on the interior. So we do a big clean out. This car, although it had very low kilometres, it had quite a bit of grime and grub in all the kind of nooks and crannies. Like I remember particularly in the cup holders and stuff, there was like chewing gum. So that sort of stuff just takes a long time, obviously, to get it completely sanitized and as if it was never there. All the vents needed to be dusted, cleaned, and the cabin was deodorized. All again usual process, but this one the customer just wanted it to be just right. So we did spend a little bit extra time on this one. And yeah, it was just quite a lengthy process, but as you'll see at the end, the results were really good. So yeah, that's basically why I'm annotating this video. Just really pleased with the results, and if you haven't seen my videos before, this might be a good one to watch just to see the whole detail process. And I'm going to be talking to you at the same time, so to tell you about what I'm doing. So yeah, in the boot there, no spare tyre in this one. I didn't think there was. So yeah, we just clear everything out. They've got all the batteries and that in there. They just needed to be dusted pretty much. So yeah, we just spray some degreaser on. It's a citrus based degreaser. It's a really good product, one of my favourite products. I use it for a lot of things, but primarily interiors, so everything gets cleaned. It's an Australian product. It's from Bowden's Own. It's called Orange Agent, so you can get it from Autobahn and Repco and all those. It's available to the public. It's not like a detailing thing, but a great product to have around the garage if you're a car enthusiast. You can clean anything with it, like interiors, anything from that onto like carpets. You can get stains out with just a spray and agitation with a brush or something. And you can also clean engines, tyres, wheels with it, so it's a really great product. Here you'll see the drill brush, so that's one of my main tools that I use in interiors. Just that next level from just a maintenance detail where you'll just vacuum the car. Every fabric is approached with that drill brush, so all the dust and whatnot from age and time is I guess flicked out of the carpet. And then there's different attachments like this one here. We're actually shampooing the fabric on the seats, the Alcantara. So yeah, it's just that next level from I guess a vacuum and a wash. We actually get in the nitty gritty of the interior and agitate it with brushes and get the dust and the bits you don't physically see, and that's the process that I guess you get nicer smell in the cabin. The car seems fresher because everything is been, stripped, degreased, cleaned. All the surfaces that you don't necessarily see have been done and tackled, and that's the difference. Mainly the difference, when you have more professional detailing shops, they know about those areas, whereas the cheaper, I guess, kind of car washy type detailing shops don't tackle, and that's not a bad thing. It's just a different service. It's just the difference in workmanship there. So right here I'm doing the initial wash. So it was really grubby. I ended up detail washing this car twice, and I'll tell you about that later when I show you the second wash. But here I was just basically doing the first one, just getting all the grub and grime off. I didn't detail the wheels or anything here. I just put some chemicals on and got most of it off, just to see with what I'm dealing with, because I know the customer was very fussy. They wanted it polished, pretty much to perfection as much as possible. So this is just the first wash for me to see, what we're looking at, getting all the dirt off. This right here is a clay bar process, so I did this one on the first wash, so it was out of the way, I guess, because if I'm going to polish a car, I need to decontaminate the paint with a clay bar or a clay towel. So this basically makes the paint really smooth, and you'll see in other videos I use this little pad, and I'm pretty much scrubbing each panel, I guess, and the windows and that as well. So this gets all the hard bits off of the surface of the paint, so that when you polish, it's really smooth. So that's all been done by this stage. I'm just going to dry it off because I think I was just about to leave the dealership, and then I was going to finish the detail at home in the workshop, which is where I usually work. So this is where I am now. Getting into the more nitty gritty of the interior, doing the shampooing of the carpets, as you'll see in a minute, the degreasing of all the trims. So that little machine is just a spot cleaner I use. That's to shampoo the carpets, and then I let them dry up on the wall. So we're degreasing. We've got that orange chemical again, the orange agent. It's amazing. I use that for everything, so many things. And I'm really pleased with that product. When I do interiors as well, I do not rejuvenate anything, so to speak. So one of the tricks of the trade, I suppose, is to armour all the trims and not necessarily clean them. You just put a shiny application of a chemical on top and it looks nice and clean, but in reality it's not. So I use my magic erasers and my degreaser to clean every surface, so it's a huge difference in, like I said before, like the smell and the feel of the cabin. It just feels completely fresh, so I always take pride in my interior work because I know the quality is there. Steering wheels are another huge part of interior detailing. Can't stress enough, especially during COVID period and germs and all that sort of stuff, like the amount of stuff that gets on people's steering wheels is crazy. It just builds up over time, and it's just one of those things you can't really fix unless you know what you're looking for. And especially on Euro cars like this, most of the cars I do, they're like, I guess a lot of them anyway, are the upmarket sort of car. They have quality leathers on the steering wheels, and it always surprises me when, like, how nice they come up. They're literally like, they just come out the showroom. They can look, with all the dirt and grub and grime from your hands, they can look really filthy, but they almost always come up really nice. anyway, moving on from the interior, this right here is when I started to realise that this job was going to be big. So I realised that this car had been detailed before. All these bits in the cracks and crevices on the exterior, they're pretty much compound marks. So this kind of goldy looking substance, that means the car's been polished before by someone and they haven't cleaned up their mess, so to speak, and afterwards. So every time you compound a car, you should really wash it, especially if you're doing it with like a rotary buff or something, because the compound just gets everywhere, as you can see here. It's literally in all the cracks. So the car has been buffed, but tackling all those now, this is where the second wash came in. So I didn't actually plan on doing this, but I went to buff it and I was like, it's full of compound everywhere, so I wanted to get that out first. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm washing it again, and then I just get my degreaser and a brush, and we just work in all those areas. As you'll see in a moment, we snow foam it, and then we will tackle the cracks. So that's what I'm doing here. I've got my detailing brush, and we're just loosening up and agitating all those little bits, so then we can pressure wash it after and it'll come up nice and clean. This snow foam is actually kind of new. One of my private clients requested me to use it on her cars. So my snow foam is it's an auto glim product. It's really nice, but it's just meant to be like a really thick kind of clinging foam. So I use it throughout my wash process as well. Like when I do cars at home here in the workshop, I will use that, and then I'll sponge the car, because it just decreases the likelihood of putting swirls in the paint. And sorry, I just realised I was talking above the microphone, so I hope it's been picking up everything. We're just detailing the wheels here. Similar products, we just use a little bit heavier degreasers for this. Any shadow chrome sort of wheels like these ones, you want to stay away from the acid based wheel cleaners. Anything grey or I do use acid products when I do full details on like the silver coloured alloy wheels, but on ones like these, they're shadow chrome, they're grey or black, or any polished colours. You definitely want to stay away from the acid base, because just on contact that will just leave little spots in the paint, and that's not what you want. Definitely some knowledge there with using certain chemicals, what works where is very important. And here I'm just showing you, basically I've just washed it and dried it, and all those little goldy bits, they're pretty much all out now. So doing what I did with that brush really did the treat. So now it's all ready to be polished and buffed. So here we've just got doing the exhaust tips with heavy compound cuts. So what I did in the wash bay with cleaning them with a sponge and degreaser didn't really get everything off that I wanted to. I didn't get the results I wanted. So we're just going for a bit of a harder approach and actually doing them by hand, polishing them up and making them really nice, because they were nice chrome tips. So it's always really good when they look nice and fresh and new, especially on sports cars like this. You tend to get a lot of like exhaust gases and whatnot on the tips, exhaust tips. So to clean them up really makes a big difference. One of those little things you don't necessarily focus on, but yeah, definitely makes a difference when you look at the overall result at the end. And right here we're doing our single stage polish. So as I said before, this car had already been compounded and I knew that. So it was quite nice. Oh yeah, apart from these bits. So these black accents were just a mess. I'll show you in a minute the difference. I'm doing the driver's side here, but I'll show you in a second like the difference between this one I'm doing and finishing and then the other side. They were just marred and swirled and foggy, and yeah, and it made a massive difference to do a good process on these and do a 2-stage buff. I think this was the worst bit on the whole car, just those black bits. I'm pretty sure I polished I compounded the tailgate and stuff as well, but yeah, this car, as I said, this car was a week ago, so I'm just trying to remember. I've done a few in between then. Yeah, but that really worked a treat. And now, so after that compound that I just did with the hard pad, we're doing a machine polish here with the T57 black. So that dark polish, I love it. It always makes the car look great. Yeah, and this is a showroom detail obviously, and you want it to look, you know, as shiny and fresh and nice as you can. So this is that's the passenger side, so this is the bit I have not done yet. So I was just trying to show the difference. They were so foggy and marred, and this is the one I just did. So this has been machine polished and cut as well, and it just came up really nice, so I just stopped for a minute and took a little video. Yeah, I was really pleased with the results there. That was about half the car done. Yeah, so anything with that red pad right there on the buff, this is a compound cut. So you hear people say cut and polish. A cut is where you're actually essentially removing a bit of the clear coat. So you want to cut as little as possible. If you don't have to, then you don't. But if there is miring and swirls and scratches and whatnot in the paint, then you have to cut, basically. And then the next stage is to machine polish. So I think this is the last little bit I cut. And then I will, yeah, so I've got the black polish there with the red lid. This is the T57 black. It's like a swirl remover, so yeah, this is what brings the shine back into the paint after you've cut it. And this is the quote-unquote polish, cut and polish stage. So this is the final stage. And that right there is going to be the last video of the buffing process. And that's pretty much it for like the work. So what I'm going to show you next is the before and after. And that's just the last thing I always do the tyres last. You don't want that silicone getting in the way when you're polishing and you've got clean microfiber cloths on you and whatnot. So yeah, this was when I first got it. So it was dirty. I took the plates off. It was full of leaves in the front there. I'm not sure where these guys lived, but it must have been on a nice road with lots of trees. And in winter, all the leaves are on the ground. Yeah, so I was just checking out the paint. There was a lot of fallout on the paint, which is what I get off with the clay bar stage, which I mentioned before. Yeah, just a bit of, wasn't too bad, but just that grub and grime and all the bits there. Some of that goldy colour compound from the last detailer. Yeah, so this is just what I do when I get all cars. Like, I assess them, look at them in detail, and I think, well, okay, like how long do I think this is going to take? And yeah, this is just part of the process. Just looking at it and seeing, okay, how am I going to get this to look like new as possible in a showroom where there's down lights on it, and when there's nice clean shiny floors, and when the light's going to be reflecting off it. How am I going to tackle all these bits? This is where the process of real detailing comes in. Yeah. Yeah, I should mention as well, this is probably one of the nicest cars I've done, like models. I think I've worked on one other Alfa Romeo, and it was an older one. This car just completely blew me away, like in terms of performance, comfort, like those seats, I love them, and the steering wheel and all that, like in the cockpit. If you're looking for a sports car like of this caliber, I would definitely recommend driving one of these. I think it was a 3-litre V6, twin turbo, I think. It just blew me away, like how it drove. Yeah, it was one of the most beautiful sports cars I've driven for sure in my detailing career. I love that the start stop was on the steering wheel there, like a Ferrari. All that gum and gunk was in the cup holders there that you just saw. So yeah, again, this is all before I touched the car. This is just, before I got to work on it. So yeah, we really don't miss a thing. Try to look for all the bits that, the general consumer does not look at, does not see, but if they are done correctly, it just increases the whole look and feel of the car at the end of the process. And yeah, that's what I'm after first and foremost. I really want to blow people away with results, and things that they didn't even realize were dirty. They've been cleaned, and it's just, you really do notice it at the end, and it makes you feel good as a detailer, like having done all those. And yeah, so here we go, this is the end result. So I might be quiet now, just enjoy the final look of the car. You saw what went into it. I told you how long it took. It was over a couple of days. Took about 12 hours total. If you do want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to record every car that I do now. And yeah, just leave any comments or questions down below. And I look forward to making more videos for the channel. We'll see you next time. Thanks very much.
you.